My name is Varinder and I welcome you to my YouTube channel Cloudninja. So in this nugget or video we'll study about security groups and why they are created and what is their function and how we can use it within our infrastructure. So before trying to understand security group, let's try to understand, friends, that why the security groups came into the picture. So let's try to compare it with on-premise infrastructure. Let's say if you have a data center in one particular region, so in that case, that in simple terms, if you want that no one from outside should be coming and contacting your server, so in that case, or accessing your servers, in that case, we apply certain kind of firewalls, like firewall provided by the different vendors. Cisco firewall is there, Juniper is there, right? And then we have Palo Alto. So different kind of vendors are there. They are basically protecting the traffic, you know, reaching to our servers which are in the data center. So similarly, we have servers, whether it's a Linux server or a Windows servers, hosted in the AWS cloud. So really, in order to protect that, Amazon has provided us, you can say, that the virtual firewalls which will be preventing our AWS servers. So let's try understanding what are security groups. So security groups, as I said, is a virtual firewalls provided by the AWS to protect your EC2 or your, basically, for your servers which you will be building up in your AWS cloud, and allows to control inbound as well as outbound traffic. So you need to define rules both at the egress as well as the ingress rules. So you can see that the security group, we have created a rule for the RDP, that is the remote desktop on port number 3389, and source could be any. So this is not actually a good practice. I have used it for the demo purpose only. So make sure that if you are using in production environment, you allow the IP for which only the restricted IPs or the IP of your infrastructure or the IP address which you want, that only they should be accessing or doing the RDP to your servers in the AWS cloud. And you can create custom rules. We'll see it in demo, that okay, what are the different rules we can create and the ports we need to define. So similarly, you can see that we can actually create the custom rules for different TCP, HTTP and different protocols to allow that particular traffic. So let's try understanding how security groups work. So my dear friends, let's try to understand that okay, what is security group and how it actually works. So these are basically the inbound rules. We need to understand that okay, whatever we'll be doing over here, let's say we have created a RDP rule over here, and we'll see it in a demo also, that I have created a rule for 3389 traffic from any source. Now let's say if this is a web server and I'm trying to access this particular web server, my friends, I'll not be able to access it because I have not allowed any rule within the inbound traffic which will be reaching my web server and on the port 80. So in that case, I'll not be able to access my web server. So particularly for whatever traffic you want that from outside should be reaching to your web server, so you need to create an inbound rule over here. By default, everything is denied, right? Everything is denied. So you need to specifically create a rule. Like I said, for the web server, I need to specifically edit and create a rule for the web traffic. We'll see it in a demo, don't worry about that. And only in that case I'll be able to see that okay, what kind of traffic is going on. So but in case of outbound, my dear friends, in case of outbound, every traffic is allowed by default. So basically the security groups, they work on the this stateless packet inspection, means they do the packet inspection, right? And security groups basically sit in your NIC card. So let's try to understand. So security groups, basically these are the virtual firewalls, and where they are sitting, they are sitting on the virtual NIC. And what we are trying to achieve over here, with the help of security groups, we are trying to achieve the kind of traffic which will flow towards our servers. So from where the generally traffic flows in case of PCs or laptops, to our NIC card. So similarly, security group is sitting on your NIC card because these are the software defined networks which actually controls the traffic. So by default, all the instances are Ethernet 0 defined or attached. You cannot change Ethernet 0. You can add additional NIC cards depending on the machines you have chosen, right? So like in the previous video, you can go to our channel and see that okay, what are the different type of EC2 instances and You can choose depending on the business reason you're having. So similarly, you can see that if you want have requirement of 2 or 3 or even 4 network cards, you can choose the specific type of instances, and you'll be able to get the those number of network interface cards. And similarly, you'll be able to define the interfaces and if it support IPv6 address or not. So this is the basically let's see it in a demo that we'll create an EC2 instance, and we'll check the basically the Ethernet 0 and create a new NIC card and assign it to a EC2 instance, and we'll see that okay, what happens if the security group moves and by adding a new rule. So let's try it in a demo. So my dear friends, so you can see that okay, so this is the EC2 instance we have created. Okay, so this is the EC2 instance and owner is the Cloudninja. So let me go back and we'll create click on a new security. Let me click on EC2 instance and open security group in a new tab. So let me close this tab so that we should be having a clear idea. Okay, so here is our EC2 instance, and okay, we'll see that okay, which security group it is. So it is the launch wizard security group, right, in which this instance is present. So this is the launch one wizard security group, right? So we'll see what kind of rules it has. So in case of this, we have only particularly one rule, that is for the RDP traffic. So if you want to see, so you can see that this is the RDP. I have already connected to this particular server, and you can see that this is the IP of this particular server, 13.26.7.13. so if you want to tell you the IP, so here you go, right, 13.126.7.14. so this is the server, and I am able to do the RDP. Now let's try to do a, now IIS servers is configured on this particular server. So now let's try, and let's try to see that if we are able to if any web page is opening or not when we are using this particular IP. So let's try it. So then we'll see the Ethernet 0 and all those other things which are there in the demo, that where our NIC card is sitting. So you can see that it is not able to reach the or contact the IIS service onto the web server because there is no rule defined for the port 80 traffic. So let's go ahead and try adding a rule for the TCP 80. So you can see that all the custom rules we can create over here for for MySQL, for POP3, for HTTPS, and we can create a different rules within that. So right now we'll go ahead and create a rule for the HTTP traffic for any port, right? So here we go. So you can see that we have allowed a traffic for the port 80. Now I'll go, now let's refresh it. So you can see that here you go. So this is what happened because we have created a specifically inbound rule for our web server. So you can try a number of things. Let's say if I'll go ahead and edit and choose this particular port, right? If I'll delete this, again I'll not be able to access that. So just go ahead, click on enter. So you can see that again I'll not be able to reach over here. So if I'll be adding rule for port 80, then I'll be able to access my server. That simple it is, right? So hope now you have understood that okay, how security group works. So here you go. So the other thing which I was trying to help you is that basically they are attached with the NIC card, or the security groups are basically attached to the NIC cards which we have used. So if I'll click on this, so you can see that this is particularly NIC card, and the security group is attached with this particular NIC card only, right? So I can go ahead and create another NIC card and all those things I can do, and then try moving the NIC card and see if the security group has also been moved or not. So what we have studied in this particular video is that we have created different rules, right? And only traffic will be flowing through our instance for which we have created a particular rule. And where your security groups sits, your security group sits on your NIC card. So this was the this is the basically the exercise. You can try doing it, and definitely if you are facing any kind of issue, just type in the comments, and I'll be happy to help you. So thank you friends. I would say thank you for watching this video. If you really like this video, please hit like button, do share it with your friends, so that maximum people can try understanding what security groups are. And please do subscribe our channel, so that you can get updates about our subsequent videos. So thank you friends, thank you for watching.